Hi guys, so in today's video I'm talking all about the luxury basics that I completely swear by, as well as those that I think are a total waste of money. And I'm a long-time luxury lover, but even so there are some categories which I think are a total waste of money. And I've come to this conclusion through many years of experience and also spending that money. So hopefully you will learn from my financial mistakes, because if there is a category where a luxury item exists, I've probably bought it, from clothes to shoes, accessories, bags, stationery, homeware, blankets, like anything you can think of. I've probably tried to purchase the luxury version. And there are some that are quite simply wastes of money in my opinion. So I'm going to be rounding those up in today's video. I hope you guys enjoy this and let's get started. So in terms of items where I 100% think it's worth it to splurge, first up has got to be the good old Camisole. So I actually own this Camisole in two colours, in two different sizes. That's how much I love it. So I actually got an additional size up when I was pregnant with Leo, and it came in handy when I was also losing the weight as well. But I just literally couldn't be without this in my wardrobe, which is why I have this in two different size options, because I don't know how to get dressed without it. Like, unfortunately it doesn't fit now, but I'm looking forward to wearing these when I give birth. And they are just like the perfect camisole. So this is the Jane camisole from L'Agence, and it is very expensive for what is a very simple camisole. It is 100% silk, so you are getting a nice quality fabric, but it just kind of fits in the most perfect way. And it ticks every single box. It has adjustable straps, it flows in a very nice way without being too clingy, it has a nice v-neck right there, and it just kind of goes with everything and is so simple to pair. I use it to layer a lot under blazers because it shows a nice amount of skin without being too low or high cut, and it is literally the single most useful thing in my wardrobe. And I 100% think it was worth the money, as evidenced by the fact that I spent it 4 times over, and I would happily do so again. I have literally no regrets. And for me, just having those basics that I can rely on, that I don't have to worry about, that I don't have to constantly replace because they get worn in the wash, like, it's just worth it to splurge for me. So in terms of investing in building blocks of your wardrobe, I am the biggest believer in that, and this is the quintessential version of that for me. 100% worth it, and I just think it is the best buy, even though it might not be the most obvious thing to spend your money on. The second item that I 100% think is worth it to splurge on is the right underwear, and I am the biggest believer that the right underwear can make or break your outfit. From, you know, bulging skin to unsightly underwear lines, it can just ruin your outfit so quickly, even if you're in the most expensive piece in the world. If you get the wrong underwear, it just all goes downhill. So for me, it really starts from the very basics and then builds from there, and investing in the right pieces can make such a huge difference. And for me, my absolute ride or die bras are from a brand called Comfelie. I discovered them towards the end of last year, and they are the most extraordinary bras I have ever encountered. Like, they truly are amazing. They are so comfortable and supportive, and they genuinely look good by themselves, but also are completely seamless under clothing as well, which is really what I want. You know, I want my underwear to be comfortable and invisible and just kind of do its job, and these bras are the perfect example of that. The secret is that they have a much higher percentage of spandex in their fabric than other bra brands, and because of that they have the most amazing stretch, but the fabric is also very flexible too, so it really bounces back into shape after every single wear, after every single wash. It has a lot of fabric integrity, and they're just absolutely incredible. They are so comfortable, you can literally sleep in them. They are that comfortable, and they're just absolutely amazing. So the first one is this kind of wireless seamless bra. This one has the scallop detail. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm always such a sucker for a scallop detail. I think it's so pretty, and I do like my underwear to look nice as well as being functional under clothing, and this really does just tick every single box. I think it is so adorable. It has adjustable straps too. They all come with a band extender as standard as well, which when you're 8 months pregnant like me is very, very useful. It just means that I can wear these all the way through, right up until the end, and it just really extends the life of your bra. So I love that they include these as standard. You can also obviously wear them without that as well, but it's just such a clever, useful touch. It is completely wireless. I'm definitely not at a stage in my life where I'm enjoying wired things. I do not want to have a wired bra anywhere near me, so this is absolutely amazing. It is so supportive and so comfortable. It washes unbelievably well as well, and these are genuinely so comfortable that you can sleep in them. Like, they are so great, and they really do just disappear under clothing. You don't have any unsightly bulges. They really truly just disappear, and they're just absolutely amazing, and I'm completely hooked as a result. The Zero Gravity bra is another favourite of mine. I have these in a few colours and they do come in a whole variety of different shades, so something to suit everyone. But these are the most comfortable bras and they get the name because they are literally light as air. It feels like you're wearing nothing at all whilst also being very, very supportive as well. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. Again, you have that great spandex content. These ones also are cut a little bit higher in terms of the band as well. So it completely eliminates that bra bulge. So you don't have any excess skin hanging above the bra, which is a surefire way to ruin any outfit. Like, that is never flattering. And this just completely eliminates that because it doesn't cut into the skin. It just smooths everything out instead. They are so cleverly designed, again, so incredibly comfortable to wear. You can get them in a variety of plunge depths as well, so suitable for every single neckline. And for me, just 100% worth the splurge. Comfelie were kind enough to partner with me on this video and they were nice enough to send me some new bras because my bust size has changed so much this pregnancy. I don't think I changed until right up until the very end when I was pregnant with Leo. This time, I'd already gone up 2 cup sizes by the beginning of my second trimester, which is just completely insane to me. And I was convinced that I had to wear just kind of normal t-shirt bras. But honestly, I was outgrowing them so quickly. I was spending an absolute fortune. They weren't as comfortable as I wanted all the way throughout the day. And honestly, I'm not even joking, and it could have been the pregnancy hormones, but when I got my new sizes in these bras, I almost cried because it was so nice to actually find a supportive bra that was genuinely comfortable, that I could wear all day long without issue. And these are the only things I'm wearing at the moment. I've not touched another bra for the last 2 months. And I would just absolutely swear by these. Whether you're pregnant or not, I wore them before pregnancy, I will definitely be wearing them after pregnancy, and they are all that I'm wearing during pregnancy too. Comfelie were nice enough to give me a discount code as well, so I will list all the details for you on screen in the description section, as well as links to all my favourite bras. There are quite a few, but I will try and narrow them down. Definitely worth checking out if you were looking to upgrade your underwear. The next item is a great SLG, and I think what qualifies as a great SLG really is going to depend on you and what bags you like to carry. For me, I am strictly a tote girl for the most part. I do like my mini bags, but I generally will always carry a long wallet. And for me, it is the Louis Vuitton Zippy wallet. I absolutely love this thing. So I've had this now for, I want to say almost 2 years, maybe. I've had it a while. And honestly, it looks literally as good as new. Like, you would not be able to tell it's not brand new. It looks completely perfect in every single way. And it's just kind of great. It's definitely a large wallet. It has a ton of card slots, which is what I love about it because I have a ton of cards. I have credit cards, loyalty cards, all that jazz. It has space for cash, coins, bills, receipts, all that jazz. But it's just kind of perfect in every way. And I do think a great SLG, particularly from Louis Vuitton, because they wear so incredibly well, is always going to be worth the splurge and worth the money. One, because you use it so much. You know, I use mine every single day, probably multiple times a day. And two, they really don't date at all. You know, they've been producing this style for, I think, decades now. I don't think it's going anywhere soon. So I do feel like it's kind of immune to trends and fads and all that kind of thing. And if you pick the right one, it can really last and last. Dan has a Louis Vuitton wallet as well, and he's had his for, I want to say 5 years, something like that. He is very hard on his items in general, and it still looks absolutely fantastic. So SLGs, I 100% think it is worth it to splurge on. I think a lot of people are more hesitant to spend on SLGs because they're not as visible as a handbag, which I totally get. But if you do have a few core handbags in your collection which you already love, for me, I would always rather just spend on a really great SLG that I'll use every single day versus just getting another handbag, because I absolutely think that they're worth it. And if you pick well, it can really serve you incredibly well. Item number 4 is luxury denim, and you know, I know that denim has come a long way. You can definitely find some good pairs of jeans on the high street, but I've got to say I own jeans at every single price point, and consistently the jeans that I wear and love the most are pretty much always my designer jeans. So my 2 favorite brands I would say are Citizens of Humanity and A Gold. I do have other pairs and I do have other favorites, but usually my favorite styles I wear on repeat are from those 2 brands. They wash and they wear just so well. I do feel like the fabric integrity is just a little bit better when it comes to more luxurious denim brands. Obviously they can spend more on their fabrics as well. I do think that can make a difference with something that you wear so much. And I just think it's worth it, you know, for, again, a building block of your wardrobe. Jeans are something that I wear all the time when I'm not pregnant. It's just worth it to me. So even though, you know, you can find good examples on the high street, I do think Abercrombie do really nice denim too. Usually all my favourite denim pieces are on the more designer end, and this is one category where I do think it's worth it, simply because of the amount of wear that you can get from them and how easy it can make getting dressed and feeling good with your outfits. And item number 5 are coats, and coats are one area where I don't think you need to spend thousands, but I do think it's worthwhile to spend a bit more. And obviously you can get a coat at every single price point, but within even high street brands, if you spend a little bit more, I have found that you get a lot more bang for your buck. And I think Karen Millen is a really nice example of this, because they do a lot of different products and they do a lot of different price points as well. And if you look at their coat selection, and maybe less so now that we're getting into spring, summer, but certainly in the colder months, if you look at their coat selection, you'll be able to find everything from £100 coats right through to £400 coats. And I tried a lot of different Karen Millen coats. I own a lot of different Karen Millen coats. I would say the difference between a £100 coat from them and spending £100 or £200 more, you get a much nicer quality fabric. The fabric tends to be softer, it tends to be a little bit thicker, it tends to fit better, and it's just worth it to splurge a little bit more. So for me, you don't have to spend thousands, but I would say that the difference between spending £100 or £200 can be huge, and I would definitely rather sacrifice some other items or spending in other categories in order to be able to spend that little bit more, because I do think it's worth the payoff, particularly for an item that you see so much and is so visible during the colder months. And now onto the items which I really think are a waste of money, just in terms of it not being necessary to spend a ton of money on these pieces, because you can find really nice versions on the high street, or otherwise they're just not that useful. So my first item here are nice summer dresses. You know, I think there are so many good options on the high street that you just don't need to spend a lot. And even really basic items you can really dress up with a nice belt, and you can achieve a very luxurious, fancy look without spending a ton of money. My absolute favourite dress summer style from last year was this one from Abercrombie. They've actually brought this back this year as well. I got it in the cherry print, ready for when I hopefully am back to a semi-normal size again. Super cute, very classically cut. It fits really well. And it's just a really beautiful dress, and I just don't think that you need to spend hundreds or thousands of pounds to get something that looks very cute. So Abercrombie is probably my go-to for affordable dresses which look way more expensive than they are, but this is definitely a category where I would say to save your money, because you can find such nice examples for not that much. My next category are jackets, and this is in complete contrast to my coat point from earlier. But I just don't think you need to spend a lot of money on jackets to get a very nice effect anymore. I feel like tailoring in general has come along such a long way, and because there's less fabric to deal with, and I think that the cut of a jacket is just a bit less tricky to get right than a coat, I think you can definitely afford to save on this category while still achieving a very luxurious look. I absolutely love lady jackets. These are my two favourite ones at the moment. I have my blue one here and my white one right here as well. Both fully lined, they are both cut beautifully, and they definitely aren't at a luxurious price point. You know, they're pretty affordable, but they look and feel way more expensive, and I just absolutely love them. So this is definitely a category where I'd say it's fully possible to save. You don't need to spend thousands to get a really nice cut and fit, and you can go way cheaper to get a really, really lovely, luxurious result. Number 3 are trench coats, and this is an area where I've actually completely changed my mind, because I used to think that splurging on a Burberry trench coat, which for me is like the pinnacle of luxury trench coats, was 100% worth it. And having owned one, I just don't think that's true anymore. And you know, I have my Burberry trench, I also have some high street options as well. And increasingly, I feel like every single year, the high street options get better and better. I bought one from Mango last year, which I love to bits. I love it way more than my Burberry one. So, you know, that cost a fraction of the cost. I think it was 100 and something. Like, it wasn't much at all for what I got. It looks super classic. I felt like it was so easy to style. And I just don't think it's necessary to spend that much money on a Burberry version when you do have such good options available on the high street. So this is definitely an easy one to save on. You know, trench coat is so classic, but you can definitely find really lovely affordable versions now. Number 4 are luxury blankets or homeware in general. And here I'm specifically thinking of the Hermes blanket, but I do think it applies to pretty much all luxury homeware. I only have a few kind of pieces which I would consider true luxury, but I've pretty much regretted all of them. Like, I don't think that any of them have been a completely great purchase. I would say all of our favorite things in our house, with the exception of like, you know, a big purchase like a great sofa and things like that, all of our more kind of decorative things, the ones that we really love are the ones which have like a bit of character, have meaning to us, or otherwise very functional. So in the case of a blanket, we go for the comfiest, softest ones. So our Barefoot Dreams blankets get a ton of use. The Hermes blanket, I mean, for those of you who own it, you'll know it's not particularly soft. It's kind of a little bit itchy sometimes. It's very thick, it's very stiff. And I just don't think it's very comfortable to use, nor would I really want to use it that much because it is so expensive. And it's just one of those things that, you know, I was really excited about it for the first couple of months, and then since then I just kind of look at it going, wow, that was a waste of money for me. So if you have, you know, one of those homes which always looks like show home beautiful, then I can imagine that would be worth the splurge. But my house certainly doesn't look like that all the time. You know, we have a dog, we have a toddler, another one on the way. My house is always a mess. And again, we just generally go for those things which bring us comfort, that we really love using, and it almost is never a designer version of that item. So luxury homeware is a firm no for me. I'd much rather spend my money on more functional items. And then last but not least, I have kind of a whole category here, but it is specifically spring summer items. So here I'm talking summer shorts or skirts or tops, anything that's a little bit thinner that you'd pretty much only wear in summer. And for me, this is just the easiest area in which to save, because one, I think you'll find super cute options on the high street, especially, you know, if you do like that more kind of classic way of dressing, if you do go for a lot of tailoring. I don't think it was always the case where you could find really great tailoring on the high street, whereas I do think that's completely changed now. And particularly when it comes to summer items, when it comes to more luxurious pieces, you're really paying a lot for the fabric quality, which just doesn't apply as much to summer pieces where the fabric tends to be a bit thinner, and you just don't need to have, you know, a super luxurious cashmere in order to really make the piece. So whereas in winter, you know, you might be relying more on natural fabrics to actually be functional and keep you warm, it's not the case in summer. You know, you're going to want breathable things, but at the same time, it's not that hard to get, you know, really nice options which are summer appropriate from the high street, and you can get some beautiful designs now. And you know, when I look back at my spring summer wardrobe from the past couple of years, pretty much every single one of my favorite pieces was much more affordable, you know, usually definitely less than 200, most of the time less than 100, and they were just the pieces that I wore on repeat. I felt really good in, I thought they fit really well, and they didn't cost the earth at all. So me, I just think this is an easy category where you can save, you can still achieve a very luxurious effect and outfit as long as you put together the items in a certain way. I just don't think you need to spend a ton of money. So spring summer items where you do have a thinner fabric, an easy place to save. I don't think that you're getting the value for money there if you were to splurge. I'd much rather save that money to get a really beautiful coat when it does come to the colder months. So that wraps up this video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with my points in the comment section below. I would love to hear your thoughts, and if you have any categories to add to either list. I will link up everything in the description section if you wanted to check anything out. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.